Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome to all returning subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. So, hey guys, welcome back, and I hope you're doing amazing. I hope you're having the best day, the best time, staying warm, staying cozy, staying well. So, it is January 2025. I wanted to do a moving to Dallas update video because I don't think I've done one in a couple of years. And there have been some things that I felt needed to be talked about, needed to be discussed and updated. So with that said, I have my list and everything. So we're just gonna, talk about it. So I'm doing my video on Streamyard. And the reason for that is I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I don't want to rush through the process. I want to take the time and be able to give you all of the information and details so you can have it. For those who are the kind of people that need to get to the point, go ahead and scroll through. I'm going to take my time with this video because I want to make sure that I do share all the information that I need to share with you for those who are looking to move or who may have moved or who are feeling a kind of way about moving and second guessing their decision. So with that said, if this video is helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. So for those who may not know, my name is Carlotta. I am a Dallas transplant. I have been here since 2008, and I am now a realtor out here, due to my beautiful subbies who made me go back to school for it. And so for that, I do feel that I have been out here long enough. I think it's been going on 16 years. I kind of came in before Dallas was the place to be, the thing to do. So because of that, I do feel that I'm, pretty equipped to give my opinion. I'm basically from California. So, people from Texas have their beef with folks from California, but, we're not all, what you might have heard. And, some of us really did just move here to find a better life, to grow, to build. And, so for that, I do feel that I'm, in a position to where I can give advice and help those who are looking to move or who even are here and kind of don't really know how to move around or navigate because, I've been here for a long time and I'm, pretty well versed in my opinion. So with that said, that's just some background about me. I built 2 homes here. I have lived in 3 apartments. So I've been around a little bit. So before that, I wanted to discuss, let's start off by discussing just moving to Dallas, right? Is it the thing to do? Should you do it? I'm going to tell you right now, Texas is unfortunately becoming another California. So I don't know if you've heard the rumors, but a lot of California companies have moved to Dallas. And because of that, it has I feel like Dallas is the secret that is now out, right? When I first came here, you had houses for in the 100,000. What I will say is Dallas has now gotten very expensive. So let's just start there. Excuse me, I'm getting over being sick. I think before when people come to Dallas, they knew that they could come here and it would be so much more affordable, right? Your money would stretch out a little longer. I feel that those days are now coming to an end. So please keep that in mind with your thoughts of if you want to come to Dallas, right? So let's talk about the cost of living. So I'm gonna use my old apartment as an example. I used to live in Plano. I had a 2-bedroom. No, I used to live in Plano. My first apartment, it was a 3-bedroom townhome. It was for $880. I looked at the rates for it yesterday. It is now $2,100. My last apartment, it was $750 for 2-bed, 2-bath. It is now going for $1,550. So these same apartments, same quality, same exact thing. And even then, I lived in those apartments back in maybe 2008 to 2010. And those same apartments, probably same carpet, is now double. So just keep that in mind with the idea of coming here, what to expect in terms of cost, right? A lot of corporate companies have come here. A few of the companies, an example, Fisher Investments, Buff City Soap, Cacique Foods, Simply Learn Solutions, Koya Medical, Goldman Sachs, some corporate companies that have expanded their business, their campuses, AT&T, Comerica, Fluor, Toyota, Charles Schwab, Caterpillar, Oracle, HP. So that goes to show you a lot of these companies have now transitioned to Dallas. So with that said, more people are coming in and everything is going up. Of course, in the country, in the United States right now, inflation is out of control. So anywhere you go, honestly, I feel that the cost is going to be higher than what it was obviously 10, 15 years ago, right? But it is something to be noticed. They did say, I did see an article where they said that the inflation in Dallas is significantly higher than a lot of other major cities in the United States. My assumption of why is because everything is coming here. I feel like Dallas and Austin, even some parts of Houston, is becoming the new tech, like the new Silicon Valley. If you know Silicon Valley, that's more in like Northern California, but it's like Tesla moved to Austin. So a lot of these companies have come here, and because of that, everything's being raised and going higher, right? So home interest rates, right? As of today, it is 6.9%. That is anywhere you go, that is the national rate. They do have programs when you buy a home. I know that you can buy down your rate if you probably put down more money, or if you have better credit. That is something that you would discuss with the home loan, the lender at the time when you buy your home. But that's just something to keep in mind, is 6.9%. So a lot of people right now are not buying homes. They are not buying because in their mind, it makes no sense to, right? Because you're paying for this house and you're paying interest, and like only $200 is going towards your principal, which is paying off the house. Interest and insurance and all of that is going to the lender, the insurance company, etc. Right? We can talk about that another time. But just so you know, the interest rate is still, it's gone down because it was like 8%. So it's gone down a smidge, but it's still relatively high. Median home price. I got this from Zillow and Realtor.com. So you can go on there for your reference if you like. I wanted to write down the median home price for these cities, just so you can kind of get an idea, because when I came here, homes were 80,000, 100,000, 150, but now let me name these cities so I can show you how times have changed. So Grand Prairie, 371K. Now, when I say median home price, median is the most common. The most common is typically 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage. That's typically median. That's the most basic, right? So Grand Prairie, 371K. Forney, 366K. Wiley, 433K. Princeton, 350K. Mansfield, 436K. Crandall, 289K. Little Elm, 430K. Duncanville, 277K. Garland, 305K. Frisco, 626K. Mesquite, 290K. Now, like I said, that is the median. That is the most basic. That's most common, the most common number. It can be higher, it can be lower, obviously, but this is just the most common number. So if you think of, hey, I want to move to Little Elm, in your mind, say most of the houses out there are in the mid 400s. That's just the most common. You might find something in the threes, but the most common they're saying is 430K. So just keep that in mind. So the job field here is, I feel you're going to get a different opinion from each person you speak to, right? So some people may feel that the job market here sucks. Some might feel that it's, flourishing, it's thriving. In my opinion, I do feel that the job market here is very competitive. I actually am going to link my job videos that I did and showed about how many corporate companies are here and, things to do to get a job, yada, yada. I'm not in HR, but I'm just very well versed because I've had about 100 jobs in my lifetime. So I kind of know, how to move with everything. But in my opinion, I do feel that the job field is okay. The only thing that I will say is with the jobs, they're not going to all be in one place, right? So you may have jobs that's located in Addison. You may have jobs that's located in downtown. You may have jobs located in Plano. You may have jobs located in um, East Dallas. Like it just depends, right? Frisco. So all of these places are very much not close. So with that said, I'm going to show you a map. Hold on a sec. Okay. So look at this map, right? So this is Dallas, and all of the cities I just named, Frisco, Dallas, Duncanville, Arlington, Fort Worth, like all of these cities, right? They are not close to each other. Here's Forney, like they're all far apart. Addison is around here near Foreman's Branch, but they are all not close to each other, right? So you have to know and understand that when you are looking for a job, you have to be mindful of where you decide to live and plant your seeds, because you could end up having a job, let's just say in Dallas. And then if anything happens, you have to look for another job. Then you're going to have to go to, let's just say, I don't know, Frisco. That commute, now say if you live in, I'm going to just say DeSoto, and you have, oh, these pictures are, you live in DeSoto and you have a job in downtown Dallas. Okay, that's cool. But then let's just say you really need a job and you're desperate, and the one you could find is in like Frisco. Now that commute is going from DeSoto, oh my God, those pictures, DeSoto all the way up to Frisco. So things like that, excuse me, things like that, you have to be very mindful on where you decide to live. There's so many cities and so many suburbs, right? This is, look, High Point Townhomes. That's where my old apartment was, because I looked at it recently. That's where my old apartment was. So you can see how far I was from Dallas. I was way up here near Plano, near Allen. But it was very, it Dallas is very big. So keep that in mind. So if you are, let's just say, a nurse, you can go to any hospital, like, right? You can find a job at a lot of different hospitals out here because they have them all over. They have the medical district, they have Baylor, like they have so many different hospitals. But if you're, let's just say, someone who's in customer service call center, you have to find these call centers and they're all spread out. So things like that, just keep in mind. So what I would suggest is when you're looking for a job, based on where you're living, maybe do a Google map search and kind of see the different areas, just to give yourself an idea, so you can kind of know, like, okay, I'm going to have to commute to that vicinity or that vicinity. Like when I decided to buy my house, in my mind, I was working from home at the time. And I said, if I ever have to go back into an office, what are areas that I know I could commute to with reasonable distance? I was like, okay, I can do Frisco, I can do Plano, I can do North Dallas, I could do Addison, I could do my old job was off of 635 and 75, which is like in the middle of Dallas. So it was doable for me. I would take the streets, the back way when the freeways were crowded. But these are some things that you do have to take into account because everything is not close. So with that said, the job fields that I researched and I kind of know, but I like to make sure that I have research to back up what I'm saying to you. It's not just my opinion. It's based on research and documentation. The job fields that are strong here in Dallas, I feel, is the medical industry, healthcare, tech industry, financial industry, and also construction, heating, AC, mechanical. So those type of jobs are very big here. DFW is here. DFW is actually a huge airport. It's one of the biggest airports. Love Field is here. So a lot of airlines come through here. You can apply for the airlines. You can apply for the airports. You can apply to BTSA. So in the medical industry, if you're a nurse, if you're like an x-ray technician, if you're a doctor, if you're into healthcare administration, like even, being I'm trying to think like PA, like there's so many different doctor's offices and hospitals and even clinics in hospitals. So there are so many places where you can go. I mean, I'm not going to talk about how to look for a job. Like I said, those videos are here, but I'm just talking to you about if you want to come here, what kind of jobs will you know for certain are here? And also the schools. There's so many ISDs, independent school districts. There's so many of them. And it's endless. Like teachers, like they need teachers nonstop. I know I had 2 clients that were teachers and moved here. So they are definitely out here. The jobs are here. But the difference is now, from what I can tell, is it's not about what you know, but who you know. So, with that said, networking is key. Networking is key. You have to, if you're an antisocial person and you don't like to have to talk to people, like I'm an ambivert. I'm introverted and I can be extroverted. Like I prefer introvert, but I can be an extrovert. Meaning if you've been around me, you know that I'm pretty chill. But if I need to talk, if I need to rub some elbows, if I need to speak up, I know how to do so. So coming here, especially, I don't know if you're coming here by yourself or if you already moved here and you don't really know anybody, you have to network yourself. You can do that by joining different groups. Look, I'm looking at my notes as I'm talking. Let me take a sip. Facebook groups. They have job networking groups. They have hobby groups. They have things that events. I know you may not want to. I got to talk to people, but just put on your outfit and go out there and talk to people. Have some business cards ready. It's like $20 to make yourself some business cards. And a lot of people out here are very much into the entrepreneurial career. So you have people who are hairdressers, barbers, nail techs, lash techs, designers. Influencers are now coming here. Influencers are now coming here. Now, y'all know me, I'm a bootleg influencer. I'm not really out there like that. Again, that's like my little introvert side of me, but I keep my ear to the streets. I kind of see what's going on. I'm a kind of person where I show myself and then I go back in my cave, leave me alone. But influencers is a thing here now. And a lot of Keith Lee just moved here. So a lot of people are now noticing and seeing that Dallas is really the place to be. So here are some IG pages. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going ahead of myself. On Facebook, they have for networking, Facebook. Groupon has activities. You can pay $10 and go to something and meet people. They have LinkedIn. You can create a LinkedIn page and start just adding people and then just start talking to people. There are a lot of things to do here, and I have something I want to show you with that. But I follow a few IG pages, and these are some influencers that are around here. And for me, I'm not that gatekeeper. I don't need you to follow just me and see what I'm doing. Because listen, like I said, you gonna see me and then you may not see me for like 2 months. But I am all for, not gatekeeping and putting people on. So a couple of IG pages that I follow is My Curly Adventures. She has, oh my God, did y'all hear that TikTok is being banned? Oh my God. Like, what are we gonna do? Because TikTok is a way that you really can get your knowledge and information if you want to live somewhere or move somewhere or find things to do. So anyway, but I know My Curly Adventures, all these people have IGs, so don't worry. But My Curly Adventures, Dallas Love List, Dallas Sites 101, Dubs Grubs, he's a food influencer, Dallas Foodie Fix, he's an influencer, a food influencer. Keith Lee, he's going to probably start hitting up a lot of these restaurants now. And Big Dog TV. That's not dog, it's like dog, like BIGDAWG.TV. That's his app for Instagram. So all of these people are here, right? If there's nothing to do here, if it's so boring here, if there's tumbleweeds going across the road, there's nothing to do, all these people will not be coming here and having active pages. I think I follow, I forgot her name. I can't even tell y'all, but, because I only follow on TikTok anyway. But anyway, so these are a lot of pages that if you want to see what it looks like and see things to do, these are some people you definitely should follow, in addition to me, your girl. But I think that you just have to kind of see it for yourself. Also, if you've never been here, please come visit. Come visit for a weekend. Do not up and move to a place you've never been to based on pictures and based on what other people said. Bring yourself out here and visit for at least a Friday to Monday. Okay, you heard it here first. Now, if you don't do that, then I don't have nothing for you. Love Field is expanding. Okay, Southwest is the hub at Love Field. So Southwest is the main. Love Field is the main hub for the airlines of Southwest. So it's here. So Love Field is eventually going to have to expand because they're going to start probably bringing in more flights. DFW is too. It's one of the biggest airports, like I said earlier, and they're going to have to start. I know that Qatar Airlines is actually going to start doing flights here too. So, even things like that, that's going to bring more business here because they're going to start bringing in. I feel like Texas, Dallas mainly is the central point. So this is what me and my husband was discussing recently. You have California, who's on the West Coast. You have New York, who's on the East Coast. And then you have Dallas, who's in the middle. I feel like they're going to start making Dallas like the central hub for a lot of business. So take it what you will with that. That's just my personal opinion. So what to do out here? Like, what do you do for fun? Like, what does your weekend look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do for a good time? There's lots of fun things here to do. Now, what I actually saw a video and I was gonna post his video on my video, but I just, it's kind of weird. You don't know how that's gonna go. But he was saying how in LA you can find free stuff to do, in New York you can find free stuff to do, Miami you can find free stuff to do. He was like, Dallas is the only city that I've ever lived in where you have to have money to have fun. So I kind of agree with that, but I'm going to also disagree, right? Because, well, it is a different time because I remember back in the day, they had a dollar theater off of Coit. They don't have it no more. So it just depends on what you're trying to do, right? If you want to go to the park, that's free. Parks are free. If you want to keep it cheap, if you want a real tight budget, you can go to 7-Eleven and get $1.50 hot dog and chips and get you a drink and then go on a drive. Like, I'm always that person that know how to do free stuff or cheap stuff. That's just me. That's me. I know everybody don't operate off that mentality, but for me, I've always had to move watching my pennies. So in my opinion, I've always found cheap stuff to do in Dallas. They have Nickel-Rama, which is arcade, which is nickels. They take nickels. So I always can find cheap stuff to do. I feel like maybe depending on your lifestyle, you might need money, but I'm not a big drinker. I don't go to clubs like that. So I don't need to go pop bottles. I know how to go and have a good time for free or very, very, very cheap. So it just depends on who you ask, who you talk to. But let's talk about what's out here right now. We have hit Six Flags. It's really raggedy. I don't recommend riding the rides like that. Do it what you will at your own risk, but it's real Final Destination-ish, in my opinion. But it's fun to go and walk around, maybe get a churro, get on a little baby ride, but just be careful. I'm at the age now where I gotta, think about what could happen. And I'm from the generation of Final Destination. So yes, everything when it comes to amusement parks, I'm real funny. Like, yeah. So Six Flags is here, Hurricane Harbor is here. We have the aquarium. We have Fort Worth Zoo, which is an amazing zoo. We have Dallas Zoo. So I have a list. I'm gonna show you all the list in a minute. But I want to say Universal Studios have broken ground in Frisco. Why they put it in Frisco, I don't know. That's a whole nother video, a whole nother discussion that I could have. I don't know why they chose to put it where they put it. It was awful. That's an awful location, in my opinion. I feel like Texas is way too big, way too wide for them to pick that little area to put it. So the Universal Studios is not going to be like the one in Hollywood or in Orlando. It's going to be for like kids, like maybe 12 and under. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking, oh, I'm going to have Universal Studios to go to. No, you're not. It's not going to be for you. It's going to be for your kids. So just keep that in mind. There's endless events here. Like we have the American Airlines Center. We've had concerts held at the Cowboy Stadium, the AT&T Stadium in Arlington. They have had concerts. I've only maybe some places in Deep Ellum, but they have concerts, plays, conventions. There's always, something like that popping off. They have a casino. What is this place called? It's in Irving, and I know you guys will know what I'm talking about if you're out here. It's in Irving, but it's like outdoor. So they be having outdoor concerts. Like we went and saw SWV, Drew Hill, Jodeci. We went and saw them over the summer, and it was July and it was hot, never again. But it was outdoors. It was real cute. It's a real cute if it's really nice weather. But anyway, they have a lot of things there. It's a very safe, if you guys hear Diesel snoring, I'm sorry. It's a very safe place to settle and grow a family, in my opinion. Now, do things happen out here? Yes. And I try to tell people the more population, the more the crime. So if you live in a town of 900 people, you're not going to really hear too much about it, right? But if that population grows from 900 to suddenly 10,000, you are going to get more crime. So you have to understand what comes with growth. So the city that I lived in, I'm in, when I came out this way, it was a population of 6,500. That population now is 30,000. So we're in a town of 30,000 people now. So of course you see on the Facebook, oh my God. And I'm like, girl, I'm from South Central. That ain't nothing to me. Like, I'll be over here like, but to them, they grew up in a place that was quiet, never no activity. So now all of a sudden you're hearing things constantly. So that's going to happen with growth here. So I know that people may feel that it's not as safe as it used to be. It's not that. It's more people here now. It's more growth. So more population, more growth. Everything's out here now, more crime. That's just the inevitable. You can't run from that. I hear the dating scene sucks. Don't quote me. I haven't been in the dating scene for about 10 years, but even when I was here in it sucked in to me. So I'm like, well, not much has changed, but I hear that it's a little worse now. So you kind of got to move accordingly, dating. I can't really give advice on that, but maybe some other people can see this and drop their advice. But I will say that in my opinion, Dallas is not more for singles as it is for families. Houston may be more for singles than for families, if that makes sense. And I think I might have said that on one of my other videos, but I feel that Dallas is more for families, or people, a young couple who might be trying to start their family. But if you're single and you're still finger popping, I don't feel that Dallas is the place for you in that regard. Now you can come here, build your life, do what you want to do. You have family, do your thing. But if you're coming here on the notion that you're going to potentially meet your husband in the first couple of months of you being here, that may not happen. Just please understand that it's not the most best friendliest place for dating. So that's my opinion. Take up what you will with it. That's from my experience, as well as from what I've heard, as well as what I've seen online as well. The food scene here. Now, this is another debatable topic. You have people who come here who feels the food is absolutely awful. It's disgusting. I don't know how you guys eat there. I don't know how you guys live. I don't know how you guys, whatever. So something I'm going to use as a comparison is tacos. So when I moved to Dallas, I love Mexican food. That's my favorite food, right? So I always was like, okay, where can I go that can give me Mexican food? So tacos are a thing, right? So out here, you have your standard taco, which is like carne asada with onions and cilantro and your salsa. Whereas in LA, the tacos are a hard fried shell with the meat, lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, salsa, and maybe even guac if you're feeling frisky. So people from California, they come out here and they're looking for these kind of tacos, and those tacos are not really present here because it's not geographically regionally what it's known for. You know what I'm saying? So in LA, that's what regionally is known out there, those kind of tacos. But here it's more based on the meat. So Texas is a meat state. Okay. You cannot run from that. It is a meat state, baby. Beef. Now, I wasn't even as much of a beef eater prior to me coming here. But once I came here, I was like, okay, I started eating more steak. I mean, I actually kind of cut back a lot, but you will find yourself eating more beef. It's just what it is. I'm a turkey burger girl. I cook all my food at home. Whenever ground beef, I use ground turkey. I just made a chili and I told everybody, like, I normally use ground turkey, but I'm using ground beef on this recipe. So when you come here, you have to know that regionally it is going to be different from what you are used to from where you're from, right? So the food scene here is mainly Tex-Mex, which is Mexican fusion with Texas inspired into it, I guess. Barbecue, Cajun food. Everybody says the Cajun food here is disgusting. They say that I don't know how y'all eat it. It's nasty. I can never find a place. It's disgusting. It's gross. The soul food is gross. I don't know. For me, I can make soul food. So the vlogs that you guys might see me doing on soul food is because I know that's what y'all want to see. But honestly, I don't never just be like, I want some soul food. I don't never do that because I always make it at home anyway. Because, you know, people make their soul food real different. So I only do it. I be doing that for y'all because I love y'all so much. But I don't just, and I have a greens obsession. If y'all notice, if you guys know, I have a greens obsession. But so you have to be mindful with that. Now, Texas is very much barbecue, beef, ribs, steak. Yeah. So Tex-Mex. Where I'm from, enchiladas just had red and green sauce. Here it's gonna be red sauce, green sauce, sour cream sauce, queso sauce, mole. I mean, it's every kind of sauce that you can possibly think of that you can get on this enchilada. I'm just a ranchero red sauce girl, you know, and they because I'll be like, well, let me get the red sauce. They be like tomatillo, ranchero, and I'll be like red sauce, you know. So even that is something that's still debatable for me. So what I will say, food is a very sensitive topic. Food is a lot of most people's love language. So what is good to you may not be good for the next person, right? So you have to understand that if you're coming from, let's just say Louisiana, oh my gosh, Louisiana is the freaking Mecca, you know, the freaking Mecca for like Cajun food. So you can't go to Texas or New Mexico and expect to get the same quality. It's just not going to be there, you know? So I will say that there wouldn't be all these influencers if the food was disgusting. There wouldn't be one, two, three, four people that I just gave offhand. And those are just a couple people that I gave you. I didn't even give you all the ones that I do really watch. It wouldn't have been so many. Oh, Chime Time. He loved Dallas food. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he always out in Dallas eating. So if the food was so bad, these people would not be here being able to make a living off of eating at these supposedly disgusting restaurants. So I will say that that is something that is debatable on terms of food. But for me, I love the food here. I'm a foodie. So another thing I can compare, pastrami. So pastrami is a thing in LA and it's also a thing in New York. So pastrami was originally made, I want to say by not Italians. Hold on, let me Google because I don't want to be wrong. Let me pause this. Hold on. Hold on. Not by my people. Hold on. Pastrami is a seasoned smoked beef product that originated in Romania. My people? And was brought to the United States by Jewish immigrants in the 19th century. No wonder I love pastrami. It's in my blood. It's in my blood. Okay, it says the word pastrami comes from Romanian verb apastra, which means to preserve. It also may come from the Turkish, Greek, and Serbo-Croatian words pastrum and bastrima, which means to press. Pastrami is descended to an ancient jerky called bastruma. So basically, it was brought here by Jewish immigrants, right? So I say all that to say this. The pastrami in LA is shaved very, very, very thin. I mean, extremely thin. And then they kind of put it in a broth and then they take the broth and they put it onto this sandwich with mustard and pickles. And it's, oh my God, it's just just perfection, right? But if you look in New York, like at Cat's Deli, their pastrami is on more of a thicker side. So they use like this pepper seasoning, but it's more thicker and it's on like rye bread, whereas in LA, it's on submarine bread. So here in Texas, it's not a thing. They don't care about pastrami. They don't care, right? So I have been out here since '08. I'm going to say maybe 2 years ago. A lady that I met, She was moving here from Carson in LA, and her husband started a spot called the Pastrami Spot. And I met her online before she opened up. So that's why I tell her I'm her day one. So she always calls me my husband. They always say we they day ones because we have supported them before they even open up their store. We was like, oh my gosh, pastrami. So she came here and they started the pastrami thing. So her husband is from here. So he makes the pastrami meat more on the side of, I'm gonna compare it to New York because it's more thicker. It's more like the brisket texture, and then they season it with the peppers and the peppering seasonings, and they preserve and do all of that. So they have this pastrami, but it's kind of like infused with Texan style. So a lot of people here who cook, there's a let me finish the pastrami story. So it's a difference. So you have to know that when you are coming to a new place, that the food that you know will not be what you have had. Like now that I've been to New York, I can now safely understand why a lot of people from New York come here utterly confused. You have to have a car here, okay? Ain't no trains like that. Ain't no buses like that. Ain't no subway stations like that. Baby, you need to have a car. You need to have a car because Uber is going to get real expensive. So you definitely need a car being here because people from the East Coast are more used to transportation, such as trains, buses, subway stations. The way they move around there is different because everything is more in close proximity. Same thing with California, but even with California, they don't have a lot of trains. They have more buses in the inner city, but even in the outskirts, like in the valley or in the Inland Empire, you're not going to see a lot of like public transportation. So in my mind, I always was used to having a car. I always knew that I needed to have a car. Now out here, everything is widespread. Everything is far apart. Everything is going to take everywhere you're going to go is going to take at least 30 to 45 minutes. You just need to accept that offhand. Where you could go down the street to a bodega in New York and get a little sandwich, a roll, you can't get that. That's not like that here. We don't have bodegas. I'm telling you, I literally see people who move here and they're like, where are the corner stores? Where are the bodegas? We don't have them. 7-Eleven, QT, and Racetrack is your bodega. So you have to know and understand that when you come here, it is very different regionally. So we're going to have things here that you may not have in New York. We're going to have things here that you may not have in California. And I'm using these two areas because this is where I've noticed a lot of people have come from those vicinities. So that's why I'm using those as an example. But you need a car. If you don't know how to drive, you better learn because Uber, it gets very costly. If you need to go from DFW to, let's just say, I don't know, Prosper, you're probably looking at about $80 easily. So you just need to keep that in mind that having a car here is a way of life. You know, even in all of the South, like you have to have a car. So just keep that in mind. And then out here, you need to keep your car up. Like you need to keep decent tires on your car. You need to make sure you're getting your brakes changed. You need to make sure that you're getting oil changes because if not, you will get stranded. And you do not want to get stranded on the side of the road in the summertime. You need to get AAA also. That's also beneficial to have. So these are just some pointers, you know, just to have that in mind. It's very much different. It's a different state. It's going to be a different lifestyle, and it will take time to get acclimated, you know, to the new life here. It's going to be very different. It's new. It's different. If you wanted the same thing, you would not have moved here. And Texans, it's a lifestyle. You know, cowboys, rodeos, horse. You're very well likely to see somebody riding their horse down the street, not like riding, but like, you know, walking their horse. Cowboys are a real thing here. You know, Fort Worth, they have this thing that happens every day where they allow the cows. I don't know the name of, oh my God, I think they're Angus. Hold on, let me double check. So at the Fort Worth stockyards, they have longhorns and they let the longhorns walk every day, and they're big, huge Angus type of cows, and they have these long horns. So that's not something you see on the East Coast or on the West. Like, so you have to know that coming here, it is a lifestyle and it's something that does take time to get used to if that is not what you're used to. So I would say to definitely allow yourself patience and grace and also be open-minded. You know, it can be really a fun thing to do if it's something you've never done before. You know, the fair is a really big deal here in Dallas. I haven't been in a few years just because I feel like it's really expensive now. But if you've never been, I definitely recommend that you need to go. Definitely experience the fair for yourself. It is a whole experience. It is literally a whole day of experience, from the food, from the events. You can go there and get a massage chair. You can go buy a cow. You can go buy a car. You can go to a concert. You can go to a football game. You can go have some fried deep alligator tail smothered in gravy. Like, it's an experience. So with that said, there's a lot of different areas where you can go and hang out and have fun if that's what you're into. You know, I'm a movie buff, so I love nice movie theaters. A couple of nice movie theaters I can tell you offhand is the AMC in Addison. They have one called I think it's B&B, something like that. It's in Red Oak, but it's basically a 4D immersive theater. Hold on, let me look it up again because I had it written down. Red Oak. It's called B&B Theaters in Red Oak. So pretty much you sit in the chair and it vibrates and it rocks you back and forth. It makes you feel like you're a part of the movie pretty much. But it's so many different things to do here. We have Grandscape is a new center that opened. It has Nebraska Furniture. It has, I think, Shields. It's like a camp store. They have the big Ferris wheel. They have so many different restaurants. I would not be here if it was that boring. I can tell you offhand. I'm still exploring. I'm still doing new things. And that is why my YouTube channel probably will go for the next 10 years, because I have a long list of things to do. So with that said, I want to share a list of some things to do and just tell you some things that are now out, even right at this moment, where you could go see. They have the Meow Wolf, which is in Grapevine, which is like a psychedelic kind of neon. I mean, literally, do not take an edible and go. You need to be sane. Like, it is very trippy. So I went to one in Vegas. I haven't been out to the one here yet. So that is on my to-do list as well. Like, it's still things that I haven't done. Like, you don't go drunk and go. Like, you might trip and fall over something. Like, just because your vision needs to be fully aware. It's very, very trippy and psychedelic. That's the only way I can explain it to you. So make sure you go and you're sane, like you're sober, you know, so you can experience it. Because if not, you can see some different things that may not make sense because you're out of your norm. But it's really cool. So go check it out. And you can take kids too. They have stuff for kids, I think, in there too. The Titanic exhibit is out here right now, which I'm gonna go see because I love Titanic. I'm just obsessed with all things Titanic. The B&B theaters, like I just said. Oklahoma has casinos and resorts. They have WinStar, which is the largest casino in the whole United States. That's something. It's like a Vegas right there in your face. They have concerts there. Cat Williams was just there. Like, they have a whole bunch of things to do. So definitely check that out. The COSM, it's spelled COSM, COSM. It's also an immersive show. So it's comparable to the Sphere in Vegas. So, you know, the big circle that has like the emoji on it. So we have one here now. It's not as big as the Sphere, but it's the same concept. So, you know, the ride at Disney World, when you're sitting on it and you're like taking you through all the different countries and everything, they have something like that here as well. So that's definitely interesting, and definitely to check that out. It's in Grandscape in the Colony. So I'm going to bring up this list for you guys. Hold on a sec. So I'm going to bring up this list for you guys so I can show you a nice long list of things to do. So when I saw Keith Lee's video that he was actually, hold on, let me see if I can even share it. Oh, I hope I can share it with you. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I needed to find a way to share this list with you. Hold on a sec. Okay, share. Okay, so this is a list. I had to email it to myself. So this is a list of things to do in Dallas. You can actually, if you need me to send this to you, I can, or if you want me to paste it into the description in the video, I can also do that. But this this list came out, I want to say maybe in 2020, 2021, but This is a list that shows all the things to do. There's Sequest, Grandscape, Galaxy Drive-In, Go Ape, Yesterland Farms, Bonton Farms, Valley Beach Club, Fort Worth Museum. I'm just naming a few places. DFW Salsa, Whiskey Hatchet, Canvas Hotel Pool, King Spa, Nickel-Rama, Deep Ellum Art, Museum of Illusions, Monkey See, Monkey Do. That's Exotic Animal Park, which I didn't even know that. Little Elm Beach. So here's the Dallas attractions. So this is Fancy Food, Ruth's Chris, Del Frisco's, Ocean Prime, Perry's, Capitol Grill, Nobu, Haywire, Eddie V's, True Lux. I haven't even been to half these places. Pizzeria, Blackjack Pizza. That's a thing that people have talked about. Pie Five, Old Hags. There's so many more places that should be added, but this is just really a good list. Rooftop stuff. If you're into the rooftop vibe, there's a rooftop list. Daiquiri bars, so you can go get your daiquiris and get your food and all that. Hang out. Truck Yard, Flavor Wings. Daiquiris, they actually closed, so that's not current. But most of these are still on here. Restaurant, Paradiso, Legacy Hall, Wahlburgers, Season 52, Royal Fried Chicken, Wingfields, Rudy's Chicken, Irene's. I've seen people do Irene's. A lot of people just went there recently, I saw. So that's a good place. Look, I ain't been to none of these places. They're on my list though. Pangea, Roots. I've been to Pangea. I've been to Roots. I've been to Wing Snob. I've been to Babes. Babe is really good too. Mama Daughters. I've been there. Twisted Root, Hero, Soul Food. Here's your soul food spots. Lolo's Chicken and Waffles, True Kitchen and Cocktails, Miss Mary's Southern Food and Capel. So, a lot of these places have been around. So just make sure that you're double checking to make sure they're also still in business. Soiree, that's a place Keith Lee just went to. Brett Winner's been there. Breakfast Brothers been there. Jonathan's, I haven't been to Jonathan's yet. They just opened back up after the pandemic. PJ's Coffee. Here's a barbecue. Now these barbecue lists, these can probably be doubled and tripled because there's so many of them out here. Seafood, Tex-Mex, desserts, food trucks, clubs, gentlemen's clubs, DGs is popping, hookah stores, fun. So here's your fun stuff. Bowl Lounge, Strike, Real Movie, Grapeland Safari, Andretti's, Pinstack, Epic Waters Indoor Water Park, Spa Castle. You have Six Flags, Hurricane Harbor, Dallas Zoo, Dallas Aquarium, the Museum of Art, the African Museum of Dallas, African American Museum of Dallas, Painting with a Twist. So they added even more down here. So yes, and that's just honestly, that's really a list that is probably not as current. So if somebody, I would love if someone could do a current list. It's not going to be me, but I would love if someone could do one because I know there's so much more out here to do now, even after that list. So that's just giving you an example of all the things there are to do here. And like I said, that's stuff it's stuff that's not even on that list, and don't even, think about if you want to venture out and go to like Oklahoma, if you want to go to like San Antonio, if you want to go to Austin, if you want to go to like New Orleans, like a lot of people out here do road trips. So it's the thing to do. So do not ever feel that you will come here and just be twiddling your fingers. You have to go outside, you have to go see stuff. And if you come out here and you don't really have any friends or family, I am so sorry to be the one to break this to you because I myself are one of those people. You got to go meet people. You got to get up. You got to put yourself out there. It's total that gag, but you have to do it. You have to put yourself out there, and you might have to, kiss some ugly frogs in order to find your prince, or, bump elbows with some ugly ducklings to find your crew. Like it's just what it is you have to meet people. You have to get out there and go meet people. I actually have a friend. I actually have a video on how to meet friends. So I'm pretty good at, meeting people and talking, and, everybody's not going to be your vibe, and your vibe will attract your tribe. If you make it, they will come. Join Facebook groups, go on Groupon and do those little Groupon stuff, go to events, like put yourself out there. It is so uncomfortable. I know it is. I am so sorry. I know it's uncomfortable. You do not have to express to me. I know it is, but you have to do it. You have to do it in order to find your people. So, but with that said, I think I'm going to end this video here. I think I gave you guys a lot of information. So, what are your thoughts? Have you thought about moving here? Have you just moved here? Have you been here? What is life like for you? I do feel that if you if you're not really active, it is truly because you're not going outside. Because I can say I'm a homebody, but if I want to get outside and get active, I definitely can find things to do. I can always find things to do. I wouldn't have been a YouTuber for 5 years with no content if I had nothing to do. I mean, it's not all Dallas, but majority of it is. So you just have to get out there and find things that you like, find things that you like to do. You know, we have really great malls here. We have the Galleria. I heard it was closing, but maybe not. I don't know. I hope not. But I heard the Galleria is here, North Park, Stonebriar, the Parks Mall. They have a lot of outlets. You know, there's a lot of shopping to do, a lot of things to see, things to do. So definitely get outside. And, you know, if you're looking to move to Dallas, I hope you definitely do, you know, decide to do so. I think it's a great place. I wouldn't have been here for going on 16 years if it was not the place to be. I called it. I called what Dallas was going to become. I literally tell that to everybody. If I could have invested in that statement, I would be a freaking millionaire right now, because I saw that Dallas was next. I saw it and it happened. I didn't know it would go to this degree. I didn't know it would be to this level, but it exceeded any vision that I had for the city. And honestly, it's just going to keep growing. If you do want to buy a house, I gave you the median prices, but there are still areas where you can go that you can buy and be safe and comfortable and still live within your means. I just gave you a few cities, but there are so many cities out here. And that's the thing too. Do not, and I'm gonna close it out with this. Do not let these online videos show you these mansions and tell you that they're only 250,000. Do not allow yourself to get bamboozled and fooled. It's not true. You need to find yourself a reputable realtor, someone who knows the market, and someone who can point you in the right direction based on your finances. If your budget is 300, then let me show you an area where you can buy a home for 300, where you can still feel like you're living well and investing your money. Granted, a lot of the houses out here are 600,000-700,000 and up, and that's unfortunate. But because I literally ask myself all the time, what are these people doing to get these kind of houses? But they're coming from LA, selling their house for 700,000 and coming out here and putting down 500,000 on a $700,000 house, and they only own it now 200,000 on it. Like, there's different ways to finesse the system. But if you do still want to own a home, there are so many different ways to finesse it and so many different ways to get what you want. There's so many different ways to get what you want out of life. You just have to be willing to take the step. So, you know, I hope this video was helpful. I hope you got some helpful information. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Drop some comments below, and I shall talk to you guys on the next video. Talk to you later.